Hello, Cancers. Welcome to your reading for the second half of April 2019. I just wrapped up Scorpio and decided just to go ahead and do the other water signs, and felt your energy come through immediately. I have already shuffled the decks. I'm just spending some time on this one as I say hello to you guys. Just really quickly, this is a general read. That means that this reading may or may not resonate with you. In a general reading, it's impossible to read for every Cancer that stumbles upon this video. If you don't find a connection to this video, please do check your rising sign. You can also look at your Moon and Venus readings for the signs associated with those to see if those are more connected to your energy and your own personal life experience at this time. Also keep in mind that with a general reading, the energies can be reversed. This means that as I'm going through the cards, I can be talking about you, or I can be talking about the other person in your life, either your partner or your romantic interest. And with that, we're just going to go ahead and try to get started for Cancer, second half of April 2019. Show me insight for Cancer and love, April, second half, 2019. Information for Cancer, second half of April 2019. Okay, so this card, it's the Judgment card that did come out while I was shuffling earlier, so I think that is something that's very important. We also have the Chariot coming out reversed. Let's see if we can get one more here. As I'm going through, I just want to, so the Judgment card, this is a card that is about, interesting. Okay. So Judgment is a card that is about, for me, I see this card as being more of an awakening, or it can be a card about a reckoning. But regardless, sometimes this card can represent actual legal affairs or involvement in the courts. I'm not getting that energy. What I am getting here is that there has been clarity about a situation. There has been truth that has been revealed about a situation. There's an understanding about a situation. And this energy of this knowledge of this truth, the Chariot has come out in reverse. So Cancer, the Chariot is your card. It represents Cancer. And when it is in the upright position, this is really about having self-control and discipline and success and things moving forward and coming in, and there's lots of forward movement and energy around that, which is the upright energy of this card. When this card is reversed, it is about a lack of direction, a lack of willpower, a lack of discipline around something. I feel that this truth which has come out with this Judgment card, the third card that came out here was the Seven of Cups. So I really hope that you guys can see this card, because I'm going to talk about it. I just want you guys to just take a look at the card here. What I love about this card is that you have two people here in the card. You actually have one person and then what looks to be an angel or a spirit guide that's with them. And the spirit guide is pointing to here as being the ultimate destination, and this person is consulting their map and pondering and continuing down this path. But they're being guided to go here. But this seems like this is not a place that they can go. But it is where they are supposed to end up. It's where they're supposed to be ultimately. I think that this is saying that coming out of this Judgment energy, coming out of this truth being revealed, or this realization that you have had, there is a certain lack of discipline on your part, Cancer, to realize that the path that you have been on, the path that you were pursuing, the path that you are still consulting about whether or not to continue going as you have been going, there's a it almost feels like you're willfully ignoring the fact that you know you are being pulled elsewhere, that the truth of this situation has led to the path that you have been on, the path that you were determined to see through, that you can no longer continue on that path and you are being guided to a different location. And what's interesting is that as soon as you put the map down and you decide to listen internally to where you're being guided, it's almost like a new road will appear that allows you to get to this place. But right now, because you are being very, you're not really being disciplined in how you are thinking and how you're healing. It seems like you have no other path in front of you, but it's really just that you can't see it. You can't see the path. It's there, but your attention is not on it. As soon as you put your attention on that new destination, that new goal, or that new desire on your part, the path will, the path will become illuminated. I want to see if we can get just some clarifying specifically on this Judgment card. I'm going to give 3 shuffles here. 1, 2, 3. Do a cut. Okay, wants me to do the top. They want me to do the top and bottom card here. So I'm just going to flip these over. Okay. So in terms of clarifying for Judgment, we have the 9 of Swords reversed and the Page of Cups upright. Now the 9 of Swords reversed, this is lots of it's an inner turmoil. It's fears that are just long held, fears that we have carried with us for most of our life. And I'm also with this, I'm getting a feeling of secrets. The Page of Cups energy this can represent opportunities that are creative in nature, but what I'm actually getting here is the pages often will represent different types of messages, and the Page of Cups is really connected to intuitive messages, the guidance that comes from within. Here's what I feel. I feel like this Judgment moment was a situation where there were 2 people. One person was very much consumed by their fears, and they had a lot of inner conflict that was going on around this connection. I feel like there were lots of secrets that this person held. And I feel that the second person, this Page of Cups, I feel like at some point they actually did start to get that inner hit, that this wasn't what they wanted it to be, that this was not what they thought it was, or that it wasn't going to work out how they had hoped. And they did actually listen at this point to those inner thoughts, because this is where this Judgment card comes in. This Page of Cups decided that there was no way that this was going to work. There was no way that this could look the way that they wanted it to. and they decided that they were going to accept the truth. They were going to choose to see this as it was, and they made a decision based on that truth. Now, where they have been left, again, is this Chariot in reverse. And what it feels like, based on these clarifying cards that have come out, is that, you know, this sort of refusal to move, this refusal to go forward, specifically around trusting this guidance to pick a new path, to realize where your good is, that there is another better place that is waiting for you, and to stop going further and further down this path away from it, to just turn around and notice it, and notice that there's a path for you to get to that place. The reason that in Cancer, I really do feel like this is you. I feel like maybe for a very small amount of you, this energy will be reversed, and this is about the other person. But I feel like for the overwhelming majority of you, I'm talking directly to the Cancers watching this video. It's almost like you are saying, well, the last time I trusted my instincts, the last time I listened to this, like, you know, the little voice that's trying to like guide me, the last time I did that, I had to end this with this person. And I don't want whatever is going to be the next sacrifice, the next thing I'm going to lose, the next thing that's going to be taken away from me by listening to that guidance. I'm not interested. So I'm just not going to do anything about that. I'm not going to move forward. I'm not going to go where you're trying to get me to go. I'm just going to stand here and stare at my map. And I'm going to analyze this and reflect on it and think about it and run it through my head over and over and over, which Cancers can absolutely, they can get, it's more of an emotional cycle than you know, I hate it when readers do that, when a card comes out and they actually react. But you know, I'm actually, as I'm talking about this Seven of Cups, I'm just trying to see what cards will come out to clarify that. The card that came out is the Queen of Cups, and it's reversed. It's not a bad card. It's not a bad card. But for me, you know, this card typically, it represents for me, in terms of the good qualities of this card. It's, you know, someone who has self-respect or self-confidence. Specifically, it's sort of like a newfound sense of self, or a newfound sense of self-respect. But it can also represent becoming more introverted than is typically associated with the Queen of Cups when it's upright. And I feel like that is really sort of what's happening here. The card feels very much to me that what I was saying earlier about the Seven of Cups energy, that there's been a decision made by you, Cancer, that you are just going to, you're going to turn inward. And if you're not currently in this space, I sense that you will get to this space. And this is something that I've noticed just with, you know, Cancers in my own life. You know, for the most part, they are fairly outgoing. They love to be around people. They love to be around their friends. They love to, you know, be engaged, and they're usually, for the most part, very happy people. But then when something like this happens, this judgment and this loss, and you know, when they're in a place where they're having to mourn or grieve, or things are becoming hard and challenging, you know, it's actually literally, you know, the little, you know, the pinchers will come out, and they'll want to go and hide. And I feel like that sort of, you know, Cancer energy is approaching, or is already here. It's not a bad thing. It's something that's actually needed by a lot of Cancers, to be able to take that time, be by themselves, not really go out, and not really be as social as they typically are, to, you know, pull their energy back. A lot of times Cancers, they can put their energy out to so many people and so many friends and so many family and so many obligations and so many hobbies that they realize that they don't have any energy that's available to them personally anymore. And so the way that I've always viewed Cancers who, start to pull their energy back is that, they're in need of that energy. They need to have that energy returned to them. And they, they will do that for themselves because they realize that it's important, and it's actually through sort of turning inward and pulling their energy back in that they're actually able to flip this chariot upright and to be able to see their destination and to realize where it is that they're supposed to go, and to eliminate this confusion and really start to make it really clear that, like, well, yeah, I can continue here, I can go here, I could go here, but this is where I think I actually need to go. And now that I'm paying attention to it, it just feels right. It feels like what I'm supposed to do. But before that can happen, you will have to have one of those moments where you just turn inward and you just pull away. I will say, I think sometimes that can cause issues for Cancers because people take it personally, or people get offended, or people feel hurt that you aren't as present in their life as you typically are. And I know that that is also very hurtful for Cancers because you were trying to do something that you needed to do, but you feel like you've let your friends down, or you've let the people you care about down. If you can let people know, you know what, I just have a lot that I'm going through. I have a lot that I'm trying to deal with, and I don't really have like a ton of free time. And the free time that I do have, I need to be able to focus on healing and just, feeling better. So I just wanted to let you know so that you didn't wonder where I was and you didn't worry. I wanted to talk about this card for a while because the other card that fell out, I really don't like this card when it comes out this way. But you got the Magician and it's reversed. So the Magician reversed is the Trickster card. I'm gonna pull a card to clarify this, but I don't know if this is supposed to represent the other person, if you were dealing with someone who was a trickster, who was being deceptive. Someone who's just up to no good. They're trying to get away with something. And I don't know if it's the other person or if this is something that you are considering, Cancer. Clarify the Magician in reverse for Cancer, second half of April 2019. Please clarify the Magician in reverse for Cancer, second half of April 2019. Clarify the Magician in reverse. Okay, clarifying card that came out is the Eight of Wands in reverse. So this card, in general, it represents delay, frustration. It can represent fighting change, refusing to let change happen, fighting for something that you should not be fighting for. I feel like this is, Cancer, how these cards fell. Keep in mind how this card looks, right? You see the path that he's on? When I have it on my table here, it's literally as if these cards are looping that pathway down. And I feel like what it's saying here is that you're aware of this guidance telling you to go here. You're aware of it. You're ignoring it at this point. You're this Chariot reversed energy. You don't want to trust it because last time you did that, you had to give this person up. You're sort of in your feelings about it. You're weighing the option of making this choice to sort of pull away, turn inward, heal, get your energies back, and then listen to this and take this path. Or there's part of you that's thinking, maybe if I do this, which is not something you should do, because you know it's not right, you know that it's tricky, you know that it's deceptive, but you're considering taking action that you know is not right, but you're considering doing it simply because you do not want to allow yourself to truly turn away from this person and go towards what's meant for you. You're considering it. And I can just tell you it's not going to be worth it. There will be no good that comes of it. You know, karma is an actual thing. And if you do something that you know is not the right thing to do, if you do something that you know will cause harm or pain to someone, and it's a selfish motivation behind it, that's not good karma. Choosing to do something like that and risk getting the karma on top for something that is not of your good, for a person who is not of your good, that is really a flawed choice, and I hope that you will rethink it. I'm going to pull some cards from this deck. I don't really think there's anything else to clarify here. It's pretty clear. You find yourself in a conundrum. You find yourself not wanting to trust your instincts and your intuition, even though you know that you should. But you just don't want to, because the last time you did, it caused you a lot of pain. And part of you is seriously considering trying to do something tricky in order to get this person back. And that's just, it's backtracking, and it's continuing on a path that's not meant for you. And it's just taking you, it's increasing the distance and increasing how much effort you're going to have to put in to get to where you're actually supposed to go. And if you would just choose to go to where you're supposed to go now, then things would be so much easier. I need to get at least one more card for you, so I'm just going to keep shuffling until I do. But I'm going to talk a little bit about the card that has come out. It's the stress card. It is equivalent to the Seven of Wands in a traditional tarot deck. So this is sort of the, I refer to this as sort of the hater's card, where it's sort of like, you know, you just feel overwhelmed. You feel like everyone's coming for you. You feel like everyone is trying to attack you. You feel that every decision that you make is critiqued. You feel that, you know, you can't do anything right. Nothing that you want is working out. The truth about this, though, okay? Maybe I just need to talk to you guys about this card and then clarify it. I want you to look at this illustration, okay? So this person, they have this monkey on a leash, right? They think that they have this monkey under control. But they are so distracted with all of this stuff, right? All these thoughts, all these fears, all this paranoia, all this worry, all this concern, all this distraction, that they don't even realize that they aren't in control of this at all. And it's about to make everything come falling down. Okay? For me, I just feel like the stress card it's speaking to this tricky thing that you're considering doing to go back. It's like, you know what it felt like to be inside this. You know what it was like when you were in it, and it was not pleasant for you. It was not fun, and it's a reminder to you to realize, like, you can't control that. You can't. You don't try to trick yourself and think that you can control. There we go. You can't control this. And if you go back, it's just going to be more of the same. It's just going to be stressful. It's just going to be, it's not going to feel right. It's going to make you know that you have to, you know the truth of this already. Right? You know the truth. That's why this is over. So don't try to trick yourself and think that it won't be just like this if you go back. Nothing has changed. Nothing has healed. Okay? Now, last card that came out for you, Cancer, is the Outsider. And I'm going to tell you how I am picking this card up in terms of the reading. But, you know, if you look at this this card, I really do love it. I'm just going to show you, just making it to focus. There we go. I'm hoping you can see some of the details on this. So this card is equivalent to the Five of Pentacles. And what it really talks about is, this card in particular, the Outsider, talks about isolation and worry. And you can see this small child, you know, an innocent sort of energy, is locked behind this gate, looking through the gate as if they want to be out. They want to be out. But the gate to them appears to be, see if I can get this to show you right there. The gate appears to be locked, but if you really look, it's not locked. They could just remove this lock. It's not actually closed. They don't need a key. They can just take this off. They can remove the chains, and they can be free. So this card talks about realizing that sometimes we aren't realizing that we have the ability to free ourselves. That we have the ability to again take this path. These two cards, I just want to show you. These two cards have very similar energies. Okay? If we'll just listen, if we'll stop being focused on this, if we'll stop being focused on this, we'll realize that we have somewhere else to go. We realize that we can get out, right? It's very much about not allowing yourself to get in your head, not allowing yourself to stay stuck. It's shifting this chariot upright. That's really what you need to focus on for the last half of this month, is propelling yourself forward. And most likely, in order to do that, you're going to need to pull your energy back. You're going to need to sort of, you know, use that that healing Cancer routine that you all have. You're going to need to do that, but you're going to come out of it as long as you don't make the mistake of trying to start this back up, right? You will come out of it feeling much better, and you will feel empowered by the choices that you've made, and you'll know that they were the right ones for you. So Cancer, I'm going to leave it there. I think that was pretty clear cut. If you liked this video, please give a thumbs up. Also, please take a moment to subscribe to the page and make sure you click the bell notification so that you'll get alerts when new videos are posted. I'm not doing any extendeds on these readings. This time, the extendeds will start on my Patreon page for the first half of May readings that will go out. And if you want to go ahead and sign up at Patreon, I'll put that information in the description box so that you already have access to all the extendeds when those go up with the next round of general readings here on YouTube. And if anything resonated with you in the reading, or if you have any feedback from me in terms of what you really liked about the reading, or any suggestions to make them a little bit more interactive or engaging, or whatever for you guys, I do want to hear from you, because I want to make sure that I'm giving you guys the, you know, the content that you want. I really hope to build a community here, and I look forward to being able to do readings for you guys over an extended period of time, just to see your journey and see, you know, I'm super curious to see when I do readings for you guys for the first half of May, you know, whether or not you decided to, you know, take this path, or whether you decide to maybe try this trickery and see if you could get back with the other person. So I definitely want to, you know, I hope to find people who will return and, you know, are willing to share, you know, what's going on with them through leaving comments, just because I would love to hear from you guys. So that's it. I'm going to wrap this up. Thanks so much for watching, Cancers, and I'll see you guys again in a few weeks.